Hello world, this is Stefan of Lenjigan Games. If you try this game out and you have fun, feel free to join the Lenjigan Games Discord. Also, any help to the game through Patreon would be greatly appreciated. On that note, thank you Fish with Headphones for the Patreon support. As of March 30th, 2022, I have made no new progress on Dungeons under Gannar. Part of it is that working mornings is still wrecking me, and part of it is the lingering anxiety until my first paycheck. Unfortunately for my free days, though, I made a gross miscalculation and tried to mod Skyrim. To start off this dead-end pileup, let's get something straight. There are only two paths for modding Skyrim. For playing it. I am making that distinction because I agree that making screenshots is much more consistently fun than constantly convincing yourself that your character is the hero of the land and not just everybody's house near.
Nimrod.
But I digress. The first modding path is Murder Rim, where you're adding things to murder, methods of murdering them, and tools for murdering them. The second path is Adult Rim, where you add ways to very maturely bring peace and love to all creatures of the land. What of Roleplay Rim, you ask? If you want more outcomes to a scenario that's than just best and not best, that requires an entire role-playing framework, the likes of which I've seen only in Adult Rim. So anyway, I decided to mod Murder Rim because it just wasn't getting it up for me anymore. Now, two things about the incoming comments. Go out and get some human contact. Human contact is so much better for you. I've met humans. Also, I worked retail. If you need me to elaborate further, what you really need is just go back to hitting on the Starbucks barista and forget you ever listened to this. Secondly, yes, I did install child mods. Do you have any idea how fulfilling it feels to shut a mouthy little brat up with a choke slam? And then his psycho mother runs up. My angel, how could you do that? He did nothing wrong. And then you lop her head off. Into the sun. I have to admit, though, I do really appreciate the resurrection mods. After I've made my point to the entire family, I raise them all back up. Because when you think about it, do you think she's ever done driving a point home? To get this back on track, though, I found this overhaul mod that looked promising, and when I installed it, nothing worked. The first obvious problem was that I hadn't touched Murder Rim since 2019, so all 50 mods needed updating. Yeah, it was only lightly modded, but that was still a hassle. Next, the custom beast race needs a new body replacer. It's not 2019 anymore, and Unified Body has been abandoned. Also, the beast race was clothed, well, all naturally. After deep diving through the threads, I discovered that Anniversary Edition needs its own clothes replacer files. You see, not only is there a rift between Legendary and Special Edition, there's also a rift between Special and Anniversary Edition, because 2019 is way too far behind the times. The final problem was the rampant T-posing. This overhaul started life on Legendary Edition, but I'm jumping the gun on why that matters. Long story short, around the 20th time I ran 4 as new idols to try and get the animations working, I finally ran the compatibility check. And I got a bunch of, this animation is not Special Edition compatible. After another deep dive through the forums, it turns out the problem isn't actually the animations, though. The problem is that it's not 2019 anymore, and 4 as new idols has been abandoned. The forum recommended a new animations loader, so I boot it up, load up the animations, and it crashes, and I'm done. The overhaul's almost working, but I'm done with it for now. I'm gonna just forget about trying to fix it, and get back to focusing on my roguelike until life and work balance out. Then, in a couple weeks, I can come back and update everything again because Bethesda broke everything again.